everybody, and welcome to another episode of Roundtable Podracers. I am Julie, and these are...
I am
Alexis.
Trapper Wolf.
And I'm Alexis.
Sorry.
And today we are talking about Mandalorian episode 2 of season 2, so chapter 10. Yes.
The Passenger.
I loved it. What did you guys think?
Loving. I just want to say that my Rebels and Filoni heart are so happy right now with this episode.
I immediately thought it was a fun episode. There was a lot of little things in there, and just the kind of story beats that were kind of fun. Like this, you can tell that they're having fun with this show. You know,
I think so, yeah.
But yeah, we'll get into that a little bit.
I feel like it was interesting, just to start off, like right off the bat, that they picked up it directly where the last episode left off, which isn't something that the Mandalorian has like done too much, because we always see like a tiny time skip. So I was really into that we were still on Tatooine when this episode began.
Yeah, and to see the bright suns, like bright suns.
Right,
I don't think
yeah.
I've ever seen that side of like the binary suns. So that was pretty cool. And seeing that the helmet was still dirty with that green acid stuff.
Yeah,
It was like a nice touch.
It
Yeah,
was.
I like how the episode kind of just picked up. I definitely got the Force Awakens going into the Last Jedi vibes. You know, with Rey at the end of it, just kind of holding her lightsaber out and just staying in that same position until the beginning of the next movie. This was definitely reminiscent of that. Last shot we saw was Mando speeding away. First shot we see is Mando speeding into with that awesome shot with the twin suns. I kind of have to agree with you, Anna. I think this is the first time that we've really seen it like super bright like that, like blinding
not a
bright.
sunset.
Yeah, so it was really cool to see that, and I thought right away, I kind of liked. I was also surprised how Boba wasn't just like the first, you know, especially with them taking off right away. I would have thought Boba would have maybe caught up to him or planted some type of trap. I thought. Well, speaking of traps, we'll get to that. But I thought it was going to be Boba doing that, and not who we saw.
Okay. Yeah, I was a little surprised also that there was no Boba going on. Just a little bit, because I'm like, that makes sense because the Mandalorian has done this before where they like slowly show you what's going on. But at the same time, I was a little bit surprised because we were still on Tatooine. So, and like nothing happened with that.
Yeah, I wasn't mad about it. Like,
Yeah.
even though he didn't show up, like I was totally okay with it.
Mhm.
It wasn't like at that where we saw the episode, it wasn't like so needed. Like, even though I've seen people talking about this being a filler episode, I also thought like when I watched it after, like it looked like I was watching something in Clone Wars or Rebels. Like it just felt that way, where like the little missions in between to get to the big parts of the story.
Right. I also feel like people need to stop like thinking that the Mandalorian's like a filler show, like at all, because we've talked about this during the last season, how it's very like Cowboy Bebop-esque, where it's episodic rather than like linear storyline. We're growing with the characters each episode that they're in. My camera turned off. And so like each time they do something else, like we're with them, if that makes any kind of sense. I don't know. I just feel like it's not linear. People gotta relax with the whole filler thing.
Yeah, it makes sense. We need filler episodes. I mean, not every episode can have an awesome Great Dragon battle or some, you know, big confrontation, which we still got a little bit of that. But yeah, just, you know, enjoy the ride, man. You know, it's just that's kind of a part of today's culture. You know, everything's right away, and you know, it's the next episode. I want more. I want a bigger bang. Maybe with like a show like this magnitude, but yeah. So we see Mando. He's speeding away, and he's falling into a trap. Apparently, bounty hunters are still after the baby, or the child, I should say, which is the continuing thread. It's the thread that's connecting the whole show together. It's that constant danger that you need.
Right.
And yeah, I kind of liked the fight that we got with the battle
Yeah.
between the four. It was like 3 or 4 bounty hunters. I knew that little guy was up to something.
Yeah. I liked it because it's also like a reminder that they are on the run. Because I personally feel like I forgot with like the last episode that it was like so chill and stuff. So like I forgot about it totally. And then when that happened, I'm like, oh wait a minute, yeah, like they're still searching for the child and him. So I liked it.
Yeah, that's true. Like it's a little reminder of like here where we're at and what's the biggest cargo ever. So and it was pretty cool, and it reminded me, like it had some kind of Rogue One, Force Awakens vibes in there. Like I know we see some of the same alien from that showed up first in Force Awakens and then in Rogue One. So
Right.
that was pretty cool. Plus it was nice to see them like covering the sand, and then the choreography for the fight and the whole thing with the jetpack. I was like,
yeah.
that's
That was really
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And we got so much action from Baby Yoda. But even, well, with this fight, I just like the whole scene with the jetpack was like my favorite.
Me too.
Like seeing, he's like, oh yeah, take it. And then he's like,
Okay.
bye, peace.
I had a feeling he was gonna do that. I'm like, he's not letting go of his jetpack that willingly. But
yeah, I was just trying to figure out how it's gonna
Mhm.
happen. You know, I didn't picture it like that exact way. I was like, maybe he's shooting or like the little birds or something. I didn't see that coming.
yeah, it was super cool. I love that, like, you saw him fall down and then the jetpack comes slowly. I was like, oh, oof. I do have a question, though. Now that we see that same alien, because that alien was on Jakku in Force Awakens, right? So
Mhm.
now that we do see him in Tatooine, do you guys think that's a Jawa without the hood on? Because he was making, like, very similar noises to the Jawas. So, like, I was like, is this actually a Jawa? Because I remember thinking that in Force Awakens, but then I'm like, oh no, we're not on Tatooine, it's okay. Like, but then I'm like, maybe.
What did the eyes look like? That's a really good point. I didn't think about that.
Because the eyes were like to the sides, kind of, but they weren't glowing. So I don't know if it's just glowing because the hood's on. I mean, I don't know. Jawa mechanics.
Well, even though it says it's a scrap job, Motitos.
Okay.
That's the name of the race. Scrap jaw Motitos race from the Force Awakens appears that one, right?
Right. Okay.
Which I can see why it would look like a Jawa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not getting the only Jawa vibes I get is just that he's small, very tiny, and has a hood or whatever. But yeah, his face is like mechanical.
More mechanical, right?
Yeah, now that you guys bring it up, I do kind of remember him from The Force Awakens and stuff a little bit. It'd be cool. It'd be kind of meta if this was the actual character, but
Oh, like that is.
yeah, I mean, I just like the whole like hostage situation between them. Yeah, it was kind of weird how he just kind of gave up, like, I mean, obviously for the plot to continue, Baby Yoda the child had to have been reunited, but it was like, what? You're gonna trade a jetpack that's like doesn't even fit you, and like for the child that's probably worth like 1 billion times more. So I was kind of surprised that I thought that was gonna be a little bit more of a fight, maybe him like run away and then Mando with the sniper rifle or whatever shoot him. That's kind of what I thought was gonna play out, but the jetpack kind of fooling him, that was a nice touch.
Mhm.
Nice little
I was like,
comedy.
okay.
And then Baby Yoda was like in his arms and he's like, look, this is how daddy does this. Like,
Yeah, I think that's the first, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was the first instance where we hear Baby Yoda babbling, right? He did a lot of babbling
He
in the
did.
episode, which I was like, okay, so do you not talk yet? Like, is it because you're still a baby, considering like we know that Yoda was like 1,000 billion years old? So I'm like, are you gonna talk? Are you not wanting to talk? Like there was
What's
so
another interesting thought that I had during the episode and about the babbling was, what if Yoda learned the common tongue, but that race has another like language, and so that babbling is that other language.
Yeah.
And I felt like go ahead, Alexis. I'll continue that thought later.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of hope that we hear it. I mean, obviously, speculating right now is not really like 100% because we don't know. There was no. I mean, I don't think there was any subtitles or anything to what he was saying. But I kind of hope that we do hear Yoda, baby Yoda's or the child's like native language. That would be kind of cool to see, like maybe at the final episode or something. Like a little something would be kind of cool. Because yeah, you bring up a good point. Like I'm sure Basic is not their language, the Yoda species. So yeah, this episode was a lot of Baby Yoda was definitely more animated. I remember watching the episode overall and thinking like, because I'm raising a son right now, a baby. So it was like I was like, oh man, they really nailed the baby like movements.
Oh
and, like,
yeah,
it was really spot on the entire episode. It really did act like
yeah. Yeah, the interactions with him being a baby or like a toddler, because that's more like a toddler behavior. I mean, I'm a behavior analyst, so I was like, oh my god, this is me training the parent now. Like, you already said no, it's not gonna work. You have to do something else. So it was funny kind of seeing also that and relating it to my work. But it was so on point. Like that's how a toddler would behave, even if you tell him no and kind of being like, I want that and I want that now, and kind of throwing a tantrum at times. And that's where we see all the other stuff coming up later on. Yeah. So I thought that was a really nice touch. Like, yes, it was a little bit more for us people that love Baby Yoda, love the child. So thank you guys. I don't mind the fan service. Like I love it. I'm here for it. You guys created such a beautiful creature, so give me all of it. It's fine.
I love Baby the child. I love seeing him on screen. I don't mind it. Give it all to me. I don't care.
So after the bounty hunters get defeated, we see Mando going into what I believe is Mos Eisley.
I thought so too.
Me too.
Looks like the shot from A New Hope, where they're kind of standing over the ridge and they kind of see it. It's like, it's just like, yes, just give it to me. Like this is nostalgia done right. This is Star Wars done right. Like, but anyways, yeah. So we go into Mos Eisley and then we see Moti, and she's playing, I guess, a card game. I don't know if I think they're playing.
I think it was Sabak.
Yeah,
it's Sabak.
I saw it's Sabak, and then we get this interesting ant character, Dr. Mandible, which is an awesome name.
That name was super familiar to me. I'm gonna look it up really quick. Dr. Mandible. Well, I don't know. It was just. Go ahead.
Director for this episode. So the director for Ant-Man.
Yes.
He was, right? That's what I was trying to look it up.
Yeah, you beat me to it. Yeah.
Nice little Easter egg.
So I'm like, oh, that's a nice touch.
Yeah. And just with that character, like literally just with that character, I got definite like Cantina, like A New Hope Cantina vibes. Like, obviously within the store it's the same place, but I'm just surprised at how well that they're getting that spirit through this. Like they could have easily done a crazy creature with awesome freaking AI, whatever, CGI or whatever, but instead it's a giant freaking ant that looks like he's like from the 50s, like movie making. It's like, dude, but it works,
I totally agree. And you know what I noticed in the cantina? And it reminded me of Galaxy's Edge, the IG units as like the pouring, because that's in the cantina in Galaxy's Edge as well. And like, so I noticed it in the park, but then I also noticed it in this episode, and I was like, the IG units.
Yeah, it was
definitely
lot of,
strong Oga's cantina vibes. I got the same thing. I was like, wait a minute. Like, I almost did a mental double take. Like, Wait, we're on Tatooine. We're at the Chalmun's Cantina, but why am I getting Oga's Cantina vibes right now? And I think it was because of that when they went to the bar and shows all that. Yeah, it brought me back to when I was at Galaxy's Edge having some Jawa juice.
Yeah, and even like where she was sitting with the Mr. Ant, it looked like exactly the spot where it was Greedo with Han Solo. So I thought that was really cool. It was like a little notch to, because I love that the Mandalorian has given us that like little touches of things that we know, but it's not like sometimes thrown in
overbearing.
Your face. It's like yeah, it's really cool. And I really like the character of Pelly. I think she's awesome. So like bubbly but sarcastic, and it's like, oh, give me the rounds and I'll help you. Even though she kind of treated Mando a little bit different in the bar than like when she was at home, I still thought her character was amazing and kind of wanting to also help him.
And speaking of the whole like Greedo versus Han scene, she even mentions it kind of because she's like, oh, this isn't like a Rhodian, like cook it medium rare. And I was like,
that's right.
Oh my God, they eat them?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So we know that
I didn't realize that it was the Rhodian.
Yeah. So we know that he took meat. We were talking about that last episode.
We were.
And it's funny because when he tells her, she was like, oh, you better have brought me some meat before that. So I was like, oh, so we were right. It was just some meat to eat.
Yeah, it was just something to eat.
So we got a crate dragon rotisserie with Mando and Pelly. It was kind of cool. I mean, I think this is like the second time that we've seen a rotisserie. Actually, it might be the third time, because we had Return of the Jedi, right? Didn't they put Han and Luke on a rotisserie style thing?
Yep.
Then we had The Last Jedi with Chewie cooking a porg. I don't know how he was cooking it.
It was also like that.
I want to say it's a rotisserie just for my point right now. And then then we have it now with the crate dragon. So it's like just, little kind of nice little tidbits in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were pretty cool. So that's when we're back to where she lives or whatever, and she's trying to help Mando, and she tells him that there's this frog lady that needs passage, not using light speed hyperspace, whatever the name is right now. But did you guys know who voiced that frog lady?
No, who?
D. Bradley Baker.
No, who? Oh, that's awesome.
Okay. Wow.
Cool.
Yeah, D. Bradley Baker was the voice for that frog lady, which is awesome to see that when he's always involved in all the Star Wars shows. So that was pretty cool. I was like,
for those
that's
that
really
know,
nice.
D. Bradley Baker is the voice of the clones. So every single clone you hear in the Clone Wars series is D. Bradley Baker.
And Rebels.
He also plays Rebels as well. He's done a whole bunch of other characters though. I don't think Alien's voice, right?
That's awesome. When that whole scene was happening, I kind of thought, because she wasn't like making it super clear about like who the client, I guess, was gonna be. So for a minute I thought it was gonna be her, that she was gonna be like, yeah, I want the passage to get out of here. And I was going to be like, oh, dang, that's a cool twist. But then the moment the frog lady stepped out, I fell in love with her because she reminded me of my leopard gecko. Like her head looked like the lizard. And so for a while, I was like, she's a lizard. And then he called her a frog. And I was like, oh, never mind. She's a frog.
I definitely love that character. At first, I was like, oh, okay, all right. I mean, I dug the practical effect of it. Like, you could tell that was like a real suit and like a real helmet.
Is the same actor from This Is the Way?
Oh yeah.
Okay, Creature.
The
the girl.
Oh, This Is the Way.
Yeah, it's that same actress.
So Kuil's body actor is the same one as the frog lady.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Okay.
All
That's
right.
interesting.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
like that Star
because-
Wars is keeping the aliens the same because they did that with the original a lot too. So I like that.
Yeah. And we
Yeah.
see this frog thingy in Clone Wars as well.
Okay.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, it's not the first
In
time we
Clone
see that
Wars?
species. Clone Wars or Rebels?
Oh,
Or one
cool.
of them.
Okay.
One of the animated ones. One of the
them.
Filoni's.
Okay.
One of Filoni's
One
different
of the
One of the
other.
Filoni's.
shows. That's
But I
cool.
was
Yeah, I definitely like the character.
yeah.
She was very comical and kind of like with what we're gonna talk about in a little bit. Yeah, she had a few moments there.
Mhm.
Very unlikely duo, actually. Now that we're kind of getting to the mission part, she promises to bring Mando to her husband, who has seen Mandalorians, and right off the bat, we see. Well, right off the bat, I realized that this is the egg canister that we saw from the trailers. Yeah, it's like, what is gonna happen with those eggs?
Yeah, that was very interesting. I feel like they gave it a lot of spotlight, so I don't think we're done seeing like what the eggs or about the eggs.
Mhm.
I thought it was like very interesting, not like a very unique combination of characters for
Yeah.
that scene. And then seeing her like being such a mother, like
Yeah.
being very caring, the survival style, I'll do whatever it takes. And we see her skills later on. So for me, I was like, okay, I'm cool. And then we start seeing the child wanting to eat the eggs. And I loved the first scene where he's looking through the glass and it
I
all
love
zooms
that.
in way more. I thought that was a nice touch. I was like, oh, yes.
Yeah.
Mhm. I love that so much.
And
And just go ahead, Alexis.
I think another little moment. I think it's in that shot too, where he's like looking into the container. The eggs kind of float towards him.
Mhm.
I don't know if you kind of caught that.
Yeah.
But they started like flowing towards him. I'm like, oh, cool, okay. And then I'm like, okay, cool. There's gonna be some type of like force
Bond.
connection there.
That's
And
what
then
I thought. And then
he just eats 'em.
Yep. He slurps it up.
I was like, oh my god! But then it kind of makes sense now that because he likes frog. We know he likes eating frogs.
That's true.
So baby frogs are just gonna be that much more delicious.
And I know that there's always those memes that like Yoda is a frog. Like they always say that in like the old memes and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I kind of thought this is going back to what I was going to mention earlier. The babbling sounded very similar to her tongue. So I was kind of wondering if their languages would be like similar. So like the Mandalorian didn't understand, but maybe they kind of did a little bit. A little bit.
The
I don't
cool
know.
thing,
It's a stretch.
yeah, but the cool thing about that scene was like he was saying like I don't understand you, and in all of the languages, Mando speaks Huttese.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, very interesting. I'm like, I wonder if she just threw it there, or we're gonna see something. But I'm like, wow, the Mandalorian speaks a lot of different languages. That's pretty impressive. So that was really cool.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I didn't think of it like that. I thought, wow, his Huttese is bad, but the dude also speaks Tuscan, so
maybe he
I
spent
guess
a
I
lot
gotta
more
cut
time
him
on
a little slack.
Tatooine than we thought. Maybe he like worked for Jabba or something like that.
He says it in the episode before. He says, I spent a lot of time on Tatooine, so yeah. I just want to see. I want to hear more Huttese. I'm so like, I'm so confused as to why we're not hearing more Huttese.
The Hutts are dead. That's why
we got them.
Yeah, I guess
we
so,
got
right?
them out in Clone
Okay,
Wars.
Hutts are dead. Don't need to speak their language anymore. I guess so.
Well, and the cool thing that because I was telling you guys last time, so I signed a little bit of ASL and it wasn't with the Tuscan. So I looked it up because I was seeing some interview and they had somebody that signs ASL help them develop that language from the Tuscans. So I was like, That's awesome.
That
The
is
Star Wars comments
awesome.
like, here, come on, let's do this. We have so many languages. We have alien language. Let's do something with signing that is not completely ASL, but it's something help create it, which I thought that was a really nice touch.
I thought so too. That's really cool. One of you guys is the one who told me, I think, that one of the actors was spoke ASL, right? One of the Tuscans, or did I hear that after we recorded? I don't remember now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, from the shortly after Chapter 5 released, I think the actor went on record, kind of talking about expressing how he liked working with it, and how he's an ASL actual translator, and
that's
it's
so
really
cool
to them to include that.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
Aww.
Give me all the diversity and stuff.
Yeah, I love that.
Amazing.
So much.
Back to the
So
episode.
we leave Tatooine. Tatooine's gone.
Slowly, we leave slowly.
Slowly, yeah, right. Not with light.
Slowly.
Yeah, that's a cool, interesting plot, kind of point, I guess. They can't hit light speed because the frog lady's brood will die.
Mm-hmm.
But it was interesting that the planet. So it looks like the planet that we are trying to get to is not Mon Cala. It's a planet, I believe it's called Trask. And
something like that.
Yeah. So they take a subride en route to Trask, but they get stranded on Not Ilum. So
Not Ilum, yeah. I was like, ooh,
not
Ilum.
Hoth, not Ilum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought it was Ilum all the way up until
no.
later.
Yeah. I mean, we still don't. I mean, I don't know if we have the name of that planet or not. But Ilum is geographically or spatially not close to Tatooine.
Right.
It is in a different sector. I believe it is also in Outer Rim, but I don't think they're close to each other. Not going sublight as they are. So we haven't had confirmation yet, but I'm pretty sure that's not Ilum. But the planet that they're trying to go to, the aquatic planet, appears to have been called Trask, and which is another kind of KOTOR reference. Trask is this very minute character in KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic. In the beginning, I think he's the first guy that you fight in that game as a character. And someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but his name is Trask Ulgo. So it was kind of cool to see that little Easter egg, if you will, in the show.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Awesome.
Trask Ulgo. Mm-hmm.
I do
I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure it's the same spelling too, because I think I had the subtitles on, and it spelled it like Trask, Trask. So I was like, oh, cool, KOTOR reference. Yay, another one.
Yeah, I like the concept that the Mandalorian is introducing a lot of the old Star Wars games that everybody likes, because including the expanded universe is kind of rough with the sequel trilogy, but I think a inclusion of a lot of the video game stuff, even the creatures and stuff, are that's really cool. I like that they're doing that, or at least giving the vibe that it's similar.
Yeah, little simple things.
When you have fans that love this and love what it is that they're doing and have their heart in it, this is what happens.
Yeah,
it's a nice appreciation, which comes to my nice appreciation was the next scene, because we have two beautiful X-wings show up.
And we were so right about them too in our theory that they were cops, and we were so even right about the opening of the things being them turning their lights on.
Yes, I thought of you guys when I saw this, and then I saw Filoni, and I was like, yes, thank you.
Very cool.
I really don't think this is the last. Like now, after watching this episode, obviously he doesn't do the talking. Is the other guy who's actually an actor as well, and he's Appa. He does awesome cosplay. He's an actor. You guys
Wait,
can
like
follow
he's
him
Appa's voice actor, is what you meant?
Appa. His Instagram is Appa the guy or something like that.
Okay. I thought you meant Appa from like Avatar that he voiced.
That's what I was thinking
like
too. Yeah.
I was like,
Isn't Appa in Avatar? Appa Avatar is the Bradley Breaker, isn't he?
I don't know, maybe. I don't know the voice actors
Wait.
except for Sokka and Zuko and all of them. I love them.
Well, Zuko is the same one that does the intro for the Star Wars Kids little episodes.
Yeah.
The beginning, I've always like when I first heard it, I'm like, why does this a beautiful voice sound so familiar?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I needed to look it up, and it was Zuko because I love his voice.
Me too.
I love his character.
I heard it
one of my
the moment
favorites.
I saw it, and like everybody was like, "Why is Zuko talking about Star Wars?" And I was like, "Yes."
Like, thank you.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was this actor.
Okay.
Yes,
So I
the
was
Bradley
wondering if
Baker
he
is
was an
Appa.
actor.
Aww. Okay.
Yeah, I knew it. I'm like, because a lot of the voices that we hear in Avatar, he kind of like took them over to Clone Wars.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was like two Appas in the episode.
Aww.
So that's pretty cool. I didn't know about that. The Bradley Baker voicing Appa in the Avatar, the last Airbender. So this second guy's his name is Appa, like his real name or his.
I'm not
page
sure
name or whatever?
his actual name. I don't want to get it wrong.
Okay.
Like
All right,
I
it's not-
follow him on Instagram, and his Instagram is Angry Appa.
Angry Appa.
His name is
Okay.
Paul Song Hong Lee. I might have been saying that wrong.
So
But-
Mr. Lee, but is he's an actor though?
He's an actor. He
Okay.
is super big into like the gay community, and he's like, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen pictures of him because
Mhm.
he does a lot of cosplay. Super cool dude. So I was
that's
cool
cool.
because he's a humongous fan, and it's kind of nice seeing like fans being able to be in like the show, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was watching, I kind of felt like I should know who this guy is. Like he
I
must
felt that
be
too.
some type of production guy or something. I feel like I should know who he is. But yeah, having Filoni in there was really cool. He's really having fun, man. I mean, like I said earlier, it's just so fun. Like, okay, all right, let me jump in the X-wing. Let's put on a helmet. Let's see, do this, you know. And
Well, that was Jon Favreau. He didn't want to do it, and he's talked about he didn't want to do it, and Favreau had them and the other two directors do it last season, and he kind of like, okay, if the other people will do it, I'll do it. You guys should watch the making of the Mandalorian, the Disney Gallery one, because
the galleries.
they
Yeah, I've
talk
seen
about
a few
that.
episodes.
Yeah, and they talk about that one because that X-wing that they used to record that is the same X-wing that is in Galaxy's Edge here in Orlando.
Ooh.
So we have been so close towards Filoni. Well, we've seen Filoni.
That's
up close,
awesome.
but you know, we've seen that same X-wing is the one that it's in the show, which is pretty cool.
That's
really cool.
I like that he's in the show. I like that it's like he's like a mute character. Don't mind it because I want my heart to be extra happy and have him be the connection to Ahsoka. That's all I want.
Bro,
Like if they make that somehow happen, like that's it.
It would be meta if like his character and Ahsoka interact. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I would
that's
like
what I'm
that.
saying. Like,
all right.
like
Yeah, that'd be meta as hell.
Yeah, because right now what we see in the episode of the X-Wings, yes, like they're the police guys and we talked about it, but they're also like the police guys that they don't really want to be bad, you
Right.
know?
Right.
They asked Mando, like, hey,
Yeah,
give
a
me
whole bunch of
your,
chances.
like, yeah, give me this. I don't want to do it, man. I don't want, like, so many,
Yeah.
like,
They
when you're
kept
talking to a
saying it.
kid,
Yeah.
you know? And showing that kindness to Mando. And then I love that Mando goes, may the force be with you. Like, he knows that he can hear it. And then we get canon and saying, like, and also with you. I was like, gracias. Like, that was awesome. That thing is canon when we're saying it all over.
I know. It's like, finally.
What was interesting to me with everything regarding the X-Wing guys, including what happens later, is the little tidbits that they were throwing out. The very first thing they were saying was I think his name is Carson, which is the Filoni character, which, by the way, I don't think that was Filoni's voice, the actual guy. No, it wasn't, right? So
no. So Filoni's character's name is Trapper Wolf.
I always said
Carson. So that's her name.
Well, no, wait. Carson, let me tell you this. That's my name today. Carson is actually Matt Lantern's character from episode, the one with Bill Burr.
Oh.
They're referring him.
Oh.
So, you know, because that's who they're referring. Because I was like, wait. Because I looked, because when I started seeing the credits and I saw that Filoni's thing was actually something Wolf, I was like, wait a second. I thought they were talking about him too. And I was like, what is Filoni's name? And then I noticed they were actually referring back to Matt Lanter's character.
Oh, right. It makes sense. All right. Okay. So I only saw it once, so just bear with me.
Me too. I just saw that this morning. No worries. Because I wanted to know his name.
That is awesome. They were talking about, that's the guy who did Carson dirty or whatever. Gotcha. Now that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that makes sense in what I was going to say, that all these little tidbits that they're referring to now, what is the chapter 6 episode. And they mentioned the Twi'lek or something like that. And I was just like, okay. So this is, because that Carson guy must have told him, hey, the Mando was the one who diffused the situation or whatever. So that's awesome. That just brings a smile to my heart. That's just like,
I know. That's why I was like, oh, my Rebels Clone Wars heart is so happy to see Matt Lantern's character kind of come back to life, because I love that. I love that they put him in there, like how they put Sam Witwer last episode.
Yeah.
That
by
exchange
the way,
was pretty cool.
It was confirmed that wasn't him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was. I think talking about fellow podcaster Star Wars Theory, he sent a message to Sam Witwer or something like that, and Sam Witwer replied to him saying, "Nope, that's not me." And apparently it's this other actor called John Moreno, I guess. And even John Moreno's Twitter put out a picture basically saying, that was me in there. It wasn't Sam Witwer. So little revision.
Look alike, man. Okay. I gotta go back. I thought it was. Maybe it's just that I want to see him.
I thought so too. I wanted to think it was him too. But people can do their own research and stuff, but that's what I saw. Just want to make sure, put it on the record.
Yeah. So then after so many chances, a speed chase, which was really cool, because it's those are 2 X-Wings. We know what they can do. How are you going to keep up? But then you see, I don't think we had seen so much of Mando's flying skills, which is one of my favorite things with Star Wars, and I think we've talked about it before. So reminded me of Anakin in the Clone Wars, and kind of how he would fly, and a little bit of Hera as well.
I also thought a little bit about Poe.
Yes, because he even did the same move for Poe does, the Tokyo Drift that we've talked about. So that was really cool, and Mando kind of being smart about how he uses and maneuvers through the planet was really awesome.
I loved that. Yeah, the way he sped around to hide and then just drop all power so that they could fall down. I loved all of that. The flying was super well done, because even the pilots mentioned how do you expect to get away from us and that thing, what can the Razor do? Yeah. So I was like, ooh, okay, so the Razor can't do much, but he's making up for it with his own intelligence and ability to outmaneuver. So I love that.
Yeah.
And really the frog lady's face the entire time, oh!
That's me on a plane. That's actually me on a plane. I'm like, ah! So yeah, that was awesome. Then we see them fall And I was like, oh, so what we thought was a Jedi temple, it's not.
Not at all.
But then the razor is like really messed up at this point.
Slams into some canyon walls, and then he like
falls down,
like
even
goes
more.
down into this cavern and stuff, and he loses the fuzz.
Yeah. And we see how this planet's super cold, and I love the fact that they put the snow on Mando's helmet.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, that's how it would be.
And it was like stuck to the I forgot what it's called, but the thing, and he like had to like pull it off, and he like hurt it. I was like, ooh. And then she was like shivering and freezing, and I was like, I felt really bad, and I was like, oh my god, no, give her a blanket.
Yeah. It was like pobrecita.
Yeah, this is a part. This is the point in the show where you start to get a little bit of like horror vibes. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, the plane's crashed. Like you're stuck on, in the middle of nowhere. Like, like things is like starting to get a little bit dire, and I like that. I liked what we see next, and So what I want to get to is, all right, I think we're at the point right now where they've crashed, and Mando's like, whatever it is, it'll wait till the morning. And then the frog lady hacks the AP5 droid head, and it's like more rebels, another rebels connection right there with AP5 type droid helmet and head. And like she's like, no, this cannot wait. And I was like, oh, cool. She's got some
spunk to her
tricks, she's got some skills.
Yeah. Before that, even though, like, I think it was even before the X-Wings, and I just didn't mention it. We also got confirmation that Baby Yoda sleeps with the Mando. That they
that was cute.
Him.
Yeah,
I was like, nice. When they went into their little thing together, I was like,
yeah, that was cute. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a like overload of cuteness from the child in this episode. It was too good. It really freaked me out because he was so concerned about the frog lady, and I'm like, where's the child? Why haven't you looked him? But like he also knows like he's fine, and he's a tough kid,
Yeah, he can take care
which
of
was cool. Ultimately. But seeing her like use that the droid to her favors was really awesome.
Yeah.
Because then he tries to fix over the razor, and then it's like, okay, you got skills also fixing the stuff. Then we have more of Baby Yoda being a child and kind of like being
not
with
listening
him or like observing, but also kind of telling him like, hey, she left. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, what's gonna happen now?
Right.
And seeing those footsteps in the snow, I was like, what's gonna happen? Like I was already getting like how you said, antsy vibes or like suspense. And then she's in a bath. I was like, I did not expect that.
I didn't either.
That was kind of funny. And then it's funny how the child went on tantrum mode. And it's like, no, you're not going to give me a little egg or whatever. I'm just going to go grab my own.
I thought it was so funny, like the finger that Mando did to the child. Like, no. I was like.
I think he's, yeah. I want to say he's more like his Hispanic comes out. More like, quieto. So that was pretty cool. And I love that scene where you see all of kind of like the eggs. And you're like, aliens, what's going on? This is really cool. Like it looks like gnarly. And then like nothing, he like grabs it and eats it.
So I had a couple different like thoughts as that whole scene was going on. First, when I first saw them, I thought there were other like frozen people in pools, because like the way they were shaped, they looked like heads in the same like way she did. Then, like, as it happened, like, I thought aliens. I thought of the flood
face
in
huggers.
Halo. Yeah, I thought of the face huggers, and I thought of the flood in the Halo series, because they look like that, and they're freaky as hell.
Yeah.
When he, like, pulls it open and just, like, munch, I was like,
yeah.
Baby Yoda has the biggest appetite ever. He's a growing kid.
So, and then we see the other ones opening, and that's when I was like, wait a second, aren't those the same spiders from Rebels? And they were, which we were talking about it. I don't know if I'm saying them right. Kryknia or whatever.
I think that's Krykna? Yeah, okay. Something like that.
Krykna.
Krykna.
Yeah.
You know?
That was pretty cool. And then I was waiting for it because we've seen it in Rebels that there's like the mother spider.
The big one. Yeah.
So I was like, where are you? Where are you? They don't have lightsabers this time. Like, what's going on? But seeing them all come out, I don't have a fear of bugs. Like, between me and my husband, I'm the one that kills things. Like, for me, I thought that was so cool seeing them all like
yeah,
all over. Because I've seen people like, no way. I'm like, I'm here for it. The design, seeing them like in real life and not cartoons, was so awesome. Seeing the eyes, that it was so cool. And there's so many.
Yeah, and they all.
So for those that are curious,
so cool.
where the for those curious and don't really know the spiders that you see on the planet Atalon, in Rebels, which is the planet where you meet the famous Bendu. I believe it was Kanan. I think Kanan was one of the first ones to come across these giant spiders, and yeah, they're in that show. So that's yet another connection that Anna was talking about to Rebels.
I wonder, remember how last episode we said that the graffiti is like an homage kind of to Sabine? Now Sabine fought these things. What if like each episode is just like a little like, they're coming.
Yeah.
Sabine and Ahsoka, they're right around the corner.
Yep.
And they were actually from a design from Ralph McQuarrie.
Mm-hmm.
So
which we also talked about last week.
Of homage, yeah. So that's pretty cool. I'll send you the link, but the picture is really cool.
Yeah.
I am obsessed with creatures, as you know. So like seeing those there, they were awesome. I was like, oh my God, give me all the creatures in the world. Like if you can bring Pan from Pan's Labyrinth into Star Wars, that would be awesome. So yeah, it was awesome. And I love that after like, there were so many. They were trying to shoot it, nothing was working. Even the flamethrowers kind of did nothing. Like they would kill one. You see Frog Lady jumping. Like that was awesome.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Like, oh.
I love that.
She went a little primal,
is what I said.
Yeah, it's
I was like, she's like, all right, these 2 legs ain't working. I gotta switch to all 4. Like,
yeah, she went primal. She
loved it.
To literally jump into her natural state, which I really liked because it was just like that whole like resolve to live for her kids and to like re-meet with her husband and everything. Like, I like that. I was scared for a minute that she was gonna be a goner, and so I was really happy that she wasn't. Because I want to see
me too.
her more and like what her story is going to be.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Kind of going around the whole horror trope. I thought that with her, like there was like a second or two where I was like, oh, she's a goner. But I'm glad she stayed alive. Mm-hmm. Imagine her dying and then Mando has to take more care of more kids now.
Oh my God, yeah.
He just keeps collecting all these kids.
And one of the kids wants to eat the other kids. I mean...
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Just like in real life.
Yeah.
No. But it's cool. Something that I loved about seeing the creatures was like when they get to the racer and they're coming up the windows and like the tentacle marks from the snow. I thought that was great. I was like, oh my God, that's so awesome. The sound was really good. I don't know how they do it. They're geniuses.
They really are.
And they're trying, like, Mando is like, okay, let's see if this will work. And then we have the humongous spider, because I'm not going to say the name right.
Yeah, the mouth animation of that scene that it was like above the window, I was like, that's terrifying. Just like the rows and rows of teeth. I was like, ew. But also like really cool.
I got I got Empire Strikes Back, the Minok vibes, and the Rathtar on the Millennium Falcon, also on the Millennium Falcon. How it has those like had that mouth shot and you can see all the teeth, like you mentioned, Anna. just more little kind of callbacks to other Star Wars movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then you're in the scene where like, okay, how are they gonna get out? You start getting the vibe of like giving up. Like he's not giving up, but you're like, what the hell is gonna happen? And he's like fighting. I thought it was when the child was gonna do something.
I thought so too.
He was so scared.
Me too.
I'm like,
Yeah.
this is all your fault.
Yeah.
But then you start hearing shots and kind of seeing the red fire everywhere, and I wasn't sure who it was gonna be. I don't know if you guys thought immediately it was them.
I kind of knew. I knew who. Well, I'm sorry, Julie, for cutting off, but
no, it's okay.
I knew right away when the blaster fire. I knew right away that was X-wing blaster fire because it does sound just like that.
Yeah.
So that's true. I was like, oh, that's an X-wing. I knew that was an X-wing, and then it was cool that Mando's walking out, and then by the time you get outside, the X-wings aren't firing anymore. It's the blasters that the X-wing pilots have.
Yeah, for me, it was like, it took me like a second. At first, I was like, who's this gonna be? And so like I kept like I was rolling through people, and then I saw the actual like the blaster bolts through the window, and I was like, oh, it's X-wing because they're red and they're like larger than just like a normal like blaster gun. So then when he started going out, I also thought that was really cool that like it was very evident that they weren't shooting him, that they were like saving him. But even like a little bit before that, the look that Frog Lady shared with Mando after she saved Baby Yoda from the 3 that were on him was like, I don't know, it was like, for me, it was like a nod of approval and like, okay, thanks, like we're on the same side here. Like, I will get you to where you need to go now. But at the same time, it was also like, what she got up her sleeve? She knows computer, like she knew how to hack into the robot. She's good with the blaster.
She can
like
shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So something.
Baby Yoda for sure.
There's something going on with her, I think.
Yeah, she's not dumb. Like she survival skills on point.
Oh yeah.
Which is pretty cool to see because usually when you have that kind of this episodes and what we've seen in Clone Wars or Rebels, where it's like somebody needs passage, they're super nervous, they don't help. They, on the other hand, they're usually guilty of like stuff.
Right.
And this was the total opposite. Like she was like, hey, let's do this. I'm gonna help you with Baby Yoda at this point. I'm gonna run, jump, Froggy style. So it was kind of cool seeing that, you know, it's not the same like, I'm gonna die, you need to save me kind of.
Yeah. It also showed like her mother instincts too, I feel like, because she's like, Baby Yoda is he's the child, like he is a child still, and she has that mother instinct to like save. So I was like, mom.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you too, Julie. That was a strong moment. And I can't believe I forgot it when I was talking about it just now. But yeah, it's like a sense of like a la Chewie and Han kind of life debt type of vibe, where it's like you saved my child, so I'm gonna help you save your child, like for real, like. Because before earlier he was like, oh, deal's off, like we're lucky if we get out of here alive or whatever. And then I feel like that moment that you're talking about is just like oh, okay, like you're for real, like I got you. Like,
yeah,
you got me, I got you. You know, you saved my kid. Like that's the primordial. That's the best.
Yeah. Like you got my babies, I got your baby. It's all good.
It's like a strong moment. Yeah. It's like their whole interaction, like, you know, it's just that was just like the cherry on. That was like the tie. That was like the tie at the end. Like, you know, all right, let's do this. Like, ready to help you out. Let's do this.
Yeah, I loved it. But back to the X-Wings, we kind of talked about this a little bit before, but just like the whole little speech and dialogue between them and Mando was so good.
Yeah, and I love that before that they showed us like his view, because you know when it's fighting, there's snow, you couldn't see anything. I like that they did that view, like that it took him like a while, like who the hell is there saving my butt? So I thought that was really cool. And then we see the guy kind of mentioning to Mando about saving him their guns. They were so on point. Which was pretty cool. I
The gun
forget
itself
exactly
was
what
actually
he mentioned.
I wanted to mention that since you mentioned the gun, I wanted to mention that I believe, and this is hardcore Star Wars nerd shit right here, that I think that those are AC-130s. Those are actual guns, blaster rifles that the rebels used after the Empire, like during pretty much during their whole Galactic Civil War, they used these guns. So it was a nice little Easter
Yeah,
egg that they threw in that because that's actually one of my favorite Star Wars guns, like blaster
same
rifle.
here.
Is that particular the AC-130?
Hmm.
I like this. So when I saw both of them using it, I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
I thought the same thing. I'm like, when you give me those ships and those guns on point, I'm like, yes.
yeah.
They look so nice. Like
Yeah.
it was really good. It was really cool. I also love that they had their kind of like, yeah, we're saving you, but not entirely. Like,
Yeah.
you get out of here. Like, we did our
Right.
part, you know?
Yeah.
That we're good.
And like you're still kind of a bad guy, but you know, we're letting you go. We saved your butt. You could do the rest from here, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like that little dialogue that when he's like, so you know, you guys help me in the integrity of the whole or whatever, and then he's like, oh, we'll help you if you restore your transponder, and he's like, nah, I'm good, and they just take off. They're like, all right, cool, we're good, we're square then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like that
Um,
exchange at the end.
yeah. And then we see Mando's like, okay, guys, we got to get cozy, but this is the only way out.
Yeah, last bathroom break for a while.
That was cool. I love when Star Wars does the
Which
little
is like
comedy.
that's actually kind of cool. Now that I think about it, that's like very like real world family stuff. Like, you know, you have kids, you're going on a long road trip, you're probably not gonna be able to stop, whatever. So go now because you're not gonna be able to go. Like that was real life Daddy Mando.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was really cool. So then we see them flying away and kind of the racers all beat up. We don't even know
Banged
where
up.
they're gonna make it.
Yeah.
Um,
Which my theory is that scene in the trailer where the Razor's like super beat up like above one of the planets that we saw, I think that's going to be the beginning of the next episode.
Yep.
for sure.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm actually kind of surprised we didn't see it in this one because it's like almost literally shot for shot. Like they're setting it up,
Yeah.
right? So I was like, oh my god, here comes ready. Here comes the shot from the trailer. But yeah, I think you're right, Julie. It's just gonna be the very first shot of the next episode.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see if they continue the trend of like picking up right
Right
away.
where they left off. Yeah.
I think they are just with that. I mean, just with that, I think they're gonna pick it up right off the bat. And then this next planet that we're gonna see is called Trask.
Okay. And then baby Oda, child ate another egg at the end when they all went
Oh,
to sleep.
yeah.
So mischievous.
Yeah.
Dude, he's the
Oh my
worst.
God.
Oh
really
my
is.
god.
And like the frog lady, like she looked like she knew because she like hugged her eggs. So like I was like, is she like saying like no, don't look at them to the child, or was it more like I'm going to sleep now? So like
I
let me
think it was
hold
the
I
them.
feel
second
like
one.
she's
I
like,
think
I'm
she
watching
realized.
you.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
the second scenario. Like, yeah, you're gonna stay away from my kids. I think you want to eat them, and I
Mhm.
think she's already kind of realized that that Baby Yoda, the child, did actually eat some of them because I think there was she looked at something on the container and it was like it was like showing low of something.
Oh no. Okay.
No, but
Yeah,
I think
it was like
that's
showed almost like a
why
battery, like a low battery type of thing, and
I think in that scene it was like referring to the temperature because
That's
the
what
scene
I can
after
see.
is where
Okay,
she
okay.
goes to the bath. So I think it's
Okay.
that it wasn't keeping them warm enough.
Okay.
Because she even gave like put her sweater, her like she's like a
Mhm.
mother. I'm gonna freeze my
Yeah.
butt, but I'd rather my kid be safe.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
Did you
God.
guys hear the I think it was when he was fixing the ship or trying to fix the ship one of the two times that there was like a cool little Mandalorian theme like I just like how they're
With
taking
the
the Mandalorian
dubstep.
theme. Yeah, it was
I
like
noticed it in this episode.
yeah, it was like cool. It was like, but it was even different than the version
Mhm.
that we got in the episode before. So it's like Ludwig, the composer, sound composer. He's just again, it's all everybody's having fun. Everybody's having fun.
Yeah.
It's like he's taking the Mandalorian remix and just adding a cool twist on it, and it's like. I noticed it again in this episode, and it's like I like it. I like what
Yeah.
you guys are doing here.
I like the concept that everybody's having fun with this show because like you really could feel that, and I feel like you feel it so much that like you have fun while watching it too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I almost
Yeah.
don't even care what happens in the show. I feel like I'm gonna like it no matter what, just because of like how it's all presented and like taken care of. Like it just makes me feel like yes, just another space western episode.
Yeah, because I had someone message like, "Oh, this is such a filler episode." I'm like, dude, if this was a filler episode, give me a whole series of filler episodes, and I'm
Yeah.
completely fine. Like, I'm just loving. I haven't hated any episode, even season 1, even
Me
with
neither.
the whole Taurus situation. I've loved every episode. Every episode has been like, yes, giving us some of the stuff that we love. Because I don't like those comments when people say fan service. I'm like, well, we're all watching Star Wars because we like it. Yeah, some
Yeah.
things
Right.
might be thrown in our face. Some things might be little details in the back. But at the end of the day, it's Star Wars. Like, if you like Star Wars, you're watching the show. It's
Mhm.
cool that people that don't really. I've had actually one of my staff today, my trainee. She was like, "Oh, Anna, I'm watching Mandalorian season 2 episode." She hasn't watched any Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
But it's cool that she's watching Mandalorian, and this is her entry. Like, to me, that was mind blowing. I was like, the first thing of Star Wars you're gonna watch is Mandalorian. That's pretty awesome.
That is
like,
awesome.
It's so good. They're having so much fun, but also kind of giving us the fans that know so much like us, that we read stuff, like that we watch the animation, to fans that don't understand it, but still it keeps a story. So
Yeah.
for me, that's awesome. Sorry, I went on tangent.
No, it's okay. Like it's true. Like you don't even need to know anything about the movies to enjoy this show. You don't need to know that Yoda existed. You don't need to know anything about the Republic versus the yeah. You don't need to know anything about anything, and you could still just perfectly enjoy the show.
Yeah,
So that's cool.
One thing, kind of touching on what you're saying, Anna, this show has reinvigorated Star Wars in a way that the sequels really couldn't. I mean, geez, just the child alone. Like Anna, you
The
freaking right
child.
now have a life-size, the child toy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
He's so
it's
cute.
having such an impact, and it's doing so well that it's wrapping in all these casual fans, and it's like, dude, that just speaks to the quality of the show,
Mhm.
and makes me happy. It's a good time to be a Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I can talk about Star Wars with people that haven't watched it. I can talk to my kids. Some of my kids have been I don't have kids, like the kids I work with. I always say that, but they're also mine. And it's pretty cool because even people, like I said, people that haven't watched it and they think, oh, the child is super cute, and we know it's another species of Baby Yoda. To fans like us that, hey, you're gonna give me a Loth cat, like a real life Loth cat in the show? That's pretty awesome. They've done a really, really good job with this show, and I can't wait to see what's next.
Same.
So, any predictions? Then I kind of gave you guys my predictions already. With what I think is gonna happen. What do you guys think is gonna happen?
That it's gonna be Trask. That's your prediction, Eamon, right?
Well, no, I mean, we already know that it is called Trask. I mean, again, the pronunciation or the exact spelling, I'm not exactly 200%.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure he said that in the show that's the planet of the water planet. I'm assuming it's the water planet because she's aquatic, and we saw it in the trailer or whatever. But yeah, I think we're just eventually gonna get to that planet. I hope we do meet this husband of hers.
I do hope we meet him too. Something cool. I remember I was looking up because I did a post about it for Screen Rant. I think I sent it to you guys. The whole thing about the theories for this upcoming season. And I remember we had said in our theories episode that we did before that season came out that we thought it was going to be Mon Cala. But upon doing some notes, I found that that planet that Luke had been on was Sorelia.
Sorelia. Yeah.
So I thought instead of Moncala, it'd be Sorelia because it looks like almost exactly the same. Oh my god! I'm looking at a picture right now that I just used for the article, and in the trailer, she's there, the frog lady. The eggs are on her back, and she's standing next to somebody of her kind who's taller, and he has a green head instead of a pink head.
Oh, cool. So
Yeah.
then, okay,
Nice.
okay. So then, the Mandalorian that the husband sees it might be Sabine. It might be Sabine,
So it might be that person that was like with
The
the
hooded
hood.
figure.
who I'm pretty sure is Sabine.
Oh, and she's a Mandalorian that he knows.
Yes.
Oh my
yes.
god, can
Oh
Friday
my
be
God.
here?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
whether it is or not, I'm happy to know that.
No, whatever
let's say,
happens, I'm
hopefully,
happy.
this is already the next episode because we get to see that person. Now, mind you, we might see her the last second. So,
Yeah.
Right.
but let's
Also,
see.
remember that there's a scene in that next episode in the trailer where he might be drowning. So maybe there's going to be a little bit of a betrayal going on here. Who knows?
Maybe the
He
Sabine
counted
character
his eggs.
might test
The eggs, yeah.
or okay.
The child ate one too many.
But yeah, I think that's where it's gonna end up actually.
Yeah, that'd be super cool.
So many cool
Sabine
things
ran on the
happening.
docks.
Yeah. Okay. So
That's probably why she has the hood, because maybe she's trying to meet with Mando in secret. You know.
Yeah, and we know she's a Mandalorian that removes the helmet.
Yeah.
Not like compared to others. So yeah, let's see.
Ooh, yeah. Excited for the next episode.
Oh
yeah.
man, super excited now. Yeah.
So any
I think that,
final thoughts, final comments, final opinions?
I love that Filoni's character's name was Trapper Wolf.
Yeah.
That was a
My
good
name
touch.
today on my Zoom. I love that his actual canon name is something Wolf. I
Yeah.
really dig that.
I like that too.
And
I
Trapper's like, it's like when you're a kid, like, you know, I don't know. It sounds like such a made up name.
It does. I like it though.
But it's pretty cool.
I like how they did the eggs and like the spider aliens, because like Anna said too, like it reminded me of Alien, and Ridley Scott based Alien on Star Wars originally, so it's kind of like a cool little like whoop whoop whoop.
And the Pelimati, her character design is based off of
Ripley, right?
Ripley
Mhm.
from Alien.
She looks it, yeah. I remember last time I said that it gave me very like 70s, 80s vibe, and that was exactly who I had in my mind when I said that. Cool
So
little
cool.
like circle, yeah.
Yeah. Everything comes back together.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think for me that was it from the episode. Really good episode. Can't wait to see what's next. And yeah.
Yeah, I'm super
Cool.
excited.
Mando's gonna have to call Space AAA.
For real.
Seriously. Ugh.
But yeah, so remember guys, if you want to keep watching us, subscribe to our YouTube, like our Facebook, Roundtable Podracers.
Yes.
And where can we find you guys?
I'm Infinity Jules on pretty much every platform: Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. Well, on Twitter I'm Infinity Jules with an underscore. Yeah, I have my blog infinityjules.wordpress.com, and I write for Screen Rant and CPR, which we link sometimes on our Facebook, so you guys can check out some of my articles on there.
Yeah.
So you guys can find me on Instagram, Lex LEX_Adames ADAMES. I'm always active on there, so give me a follow and let's talk some Star Wars.
Yeah, and you guys can find me at Le Geeky Life with 2 eyes, which, you know, because of the binary sons. I don't know if Alexis knew that, but
I didn't actually. That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, and come talk to us on Facebook and tell us what you thought about So Many Spiders, because I was so here for it.
Yes.
And as always, guys, may the force be with you.
And with
with you.
you.